ポケットモンスター縮めて
The biggest media franchise in the world. My small kid ass would have never thought that this thing that was bullied over as a child would be this huge nowadays. And look, I'm no hipster. I like when the things I like become mainstream, because this means more merch. And let's take, for example, the Sonic movie. When I was a kid, there was no Sonic merch whatsoever, at least here in Brazil. I would die and kill for a Sonic t-shirt, oh my god. But recently the second Sonic movie released, and Sonic has never seen this kind of popularity before, at least since the 90s. And nowadays, if I walk into a clothing store, I know that I'll see a ton of Sonic t-shirts. And man, that's great. But if the quality of this thing that I like starts to get affected by this booming popularity, then there's a problem, at least in my eyes. Let's take the Sonic movie as an example. Again, it hasn't affected the popularity of the games. They have been kind of bad for a while now. But that's not what's happening to Pokemon. You see, the last time that I remember being hyped for a new Pokemon game was back in Pokemon Sun for the 3DS. And even then, when I started playing, I felt like, this is kind of boring. What's going on? This is not the Pokemon that I like. But I had no fun whatsoever playing that game. It was a bore. I just rushed it through the end so I could transfer my old Pokemon to the newest game. And that's not even a thing that you can do anymore. So what I want to know is that, did I just grow up and Pokemon is not fun anymore? Or is it Pokemon that has changed? I mean, I already know the answer. It's probably the second option. But I want to know what made Pokemon good in the first place. What made me like it that I don't anymore. If that makes any sense. So my plan is basically to play through the whole game of Pokémon Red. And I never actually played Pokémon Red before. Yeah, I know. It's just that my first Pokemon game was Pokemon Fire Red and my second one was Pokemon Silver, so I never felt the need to go back to the first game in the franchise, as I know it kinda aged a little, not so good. But anyway, my plan is to play Pokemon Red and see if I like it, because if I can like this game that was made almost 30 years ago, why can't I like the newest one? I mean, it has no excuse. The technology has evolved like a bunch. It should be even better now, but yeah. Let's find out. I'm Pedro from Nintendo, and this is my Pokemon journey. So, I started the game, named my character accordingly, remembered Oak of his grandson as per usual, and then I had to make the hardest choice ever. Of course I picked Charmander. It sure wasn't gonna be Bulbasaur. And named him Zuko. Anyway, I beat the crap out of my rival and kept going north to Radiant City. Hey, look, it's my rival again. Holy shit, what was that? Okay, yeah, I think this is going to be a bit harder than what I thought. So, I decided to get some new Pokemon, but wait a second, I don't have any balls. Pokeballs. Usually by this point in other games, someone would have given me some, but not this time, I guess. Well, after buying some, I went ahead and got myself a Pikachu called Hantaro, and a Nidoran called Purpurino, and that means glitter in Portuguese, by the way. Also, nobody forced me to sit through a catching tutorial. Thank you so much for that. With my new team, I was finally able to beat Blue. So I got my pride off the ground and went to Pewter City. And well, Brock's gym was going to be a pain in the butt because, well, it's a rock-type gym and none of my Pokemon had any super effective move. Sorry, Bulbasaur. I honestly thought this was going to be the end of my run, because my Pokemon were so underleveled, and clearly brute force wasn't going to get me through it. So I found myself having to use set luring moves, which is something I don't think I ever used in any of the main games before. And wow, it felt great. I was so proud of myself for beating the gym. Even though I had the disadvantage, I was able to win. I had to think outside the comfort zone I built with the series over the years. And that feeling kinda kept going as I made my way through Silurian City, as most of the NPCs had Pokemon at the same level as mine. In order to get through Empty Moon, I had to make a lot of strategic trips to the Pokemon Center and manage my items very well. I also had my first encounter with Team Rocket, and oh boy, that was challenging. One of them even managed to beat the shit out of me, but eventually Zuko and Purpurino evolved and I was able to beat them all and move forward. Now I'm in Silurian City and I met Blue again, and this time I was able to beat him and the other trainers to get to Bill's house. Well, I had to make some trips back to the Pokemon Center, but I got there, transformed Bill back to human. Now to miss his gym. This time Hantaro gave me the upper hand, but it still got knocked out during the battle. Luckily, Purpurino managed to finish the job. Then after struggling a lot and using all of my items, I finally got to Vermilion City with one Pokemon alive. I got into the SSN, battled some board passengers, killed Bull's Raticate and got the AGM cut. Here I also traded a Spearow for Jux the Farfetch'd. And now with Cut in hand, it was time to battle LT Surge. I was able to win pretty easily after teaching Zuko the TM Dig, and then got through the rock tunnel to get to Lavender Town. And in doing so, I realized that my team had a serious problem regarding rock types. So I decided to get a water type Pokemon to help me with that. And I wanted a Slowpoke because it's also Psychic type, which is like super broken in the first gen. There was just one tiny little problem. In order to get one, I need the Super Watch, which I can get here. But to get there, I first need to defeat Team Rocket here. Then I have to go back here and wake up Snorlax there. Whew, okay, let's go. I beat Team Rocket out of the secret base in the game corner, and after some struggle against Giovanni, I managed to win and get the Silph Scope. I went back to Lavender, sent the Marowak to the afterlife, and beat Team Rocket once again so I could get the Poke Flute from Mr. Fuji, and I used that to wake up the Snorlax blocking the path. Oh wait, by the way, now Totoro is on the team. Anyway, I finally got a Slowpoke and his name is Jeff. I also bought the guard a drink so he would let me in Saffron City, and after that, all of this area was available. I could challenge any of the gyms in any of the order that I wanted. And wow, I haven't beat Scarlet and Violet yet, but this was so refreshing. After years of linear progression in Pokemon games. And yeah, S and V have a lot of other problems, but I'm glad that this is finally changing. Anyway, I set Erica's gym on fire with Zuko and got the badge. So I went south to battle Koga, the poison-type gym, to train Jeff a little bit and... yeah, I'm not sure that was a good idea. Luckily, this guy here said he would give me the XP all if I got 50 Pokemon. And it took so long, but now I could train all of my team at once. And you know, it's nice knowing that I can turn this off whenever I want. So I went back to Saffron City and made Team Rocket run out of the Silph building, and gosh, this area was so annoying. I kinda got lost for a while and spent way too much time here. But at least I trained my party and Zuko finally evolved into Charizard. What the fuck's this? I think I just remembered why I had never played Red before. Maybe Venusaur looks better. Anyway, Jeff made a quick work of Giovanni's ground-type team, and the CEO was so glad that he gave me the Master Ball. After that, I went to Sabrina's gym, and even though I didn't have anything that resisted the Psychic type, I was gladly able to get the badge. Now, a little more prepared, I went back to Koga's gym and finally beat him, before heading to Cinnabar Island. But since I had the AGM Surf now, I decided to make a detour and catch Zapdos at the power plant. And I named him What? Got it? What? Zapdos? Never mind, I guess. Now at the Cinnabar Island, I needed to get a key in order to get to the gym. So I got it in the Pokemon Mansion and went to challenge Blaine. It was pretty easy considering I had Jeff and Surf. And after that, I went east to the Seafoam Islands and got Articuno and then Hingiao. Only one gym left, and I was a little underleveled, but I managed to beat Giovanni once and for all and get the last badge. That's it, time to challenge the Pokemon League and become the champion. But not before battling Boo one last time. And at the same place that he handled my ass to me earlier. Really symbolic. And man, I gotta say, the path through the league made me very emotional. It's just this kinda straight line, but every once in a while the guards will check if you have all the badges needed to progress, and it felt like I was so close to my goal, but the biggest challenge was yet to come. Anyway, here I was at the Victory Road, and the trainers here were leagues ahead of me. So I made sure to battle all of them to level my level. I pushed some boulders here and there and got out the Victory Rope. Wait, I can't forget that I caught Moltres in the way too, named him Cheddar. And wow, I didn't even know that you could miss Pokeballs in these games. I think this feature never came back in the main series. Anyway, I was finally at the Pokemon League. I bought some full restores and went ahead. What? Oh gosh, this is going to be so harder than I thought. But no, I finally got here. I know that I will make it. Okay, I know that I will make it this time. And now knowing a little better what Pokemon the Elite Four would use, I was able to better prepare myself. It wasn't easy, like at all. It was super intense. Each critical hit was a personal victory, honestly. But I managed to beat Lorelei, Bruno, Agatha and Nivelance, healing my team after each battle, of course. Then I finally got to the champion. My rival, Blue! And look at that, his Pokemon got a lot stronger in no time. Blue loses game, chart confirmed. It was a very challenging battle and he knocked out almost my entire team. Especially that motherfucking Lakazan. It was so intense, I was sure I was going to lose. But it's over. I managed to become the champion and finally beat for the first time Pokemon Red. Or did I? There's still one thing left. The rarest and strongest Pokemon of all. So I got Mewtwo with the Master Ball. So what did I learn by beating Pokemon Red after all those years? Well, for starters, it's a way more challenging game than any of the recent Pokemon ones, But that challenge made me grow a stronger bond with my whole team, even though they were just a bunch of pixels, especially in this game. I don't know how to explain, but to me it feels like Pokemon games have become so sterile to appeal to the most people possible that they just lost all their challenge and charm, and I just can't make myself to grow attached to the new Pokemon. And that's baffling when now it's in high definition with 3D models inhabiting this 3D world, and back then they were just, like I said, a bunch of pixels, so what's up with that? I mean, there's no hardships in your journey anymore. For example, you don't even have to use your own Pokemon to climb a rock or surf in the water. And if there's no hardships and obstacles that you can go through with your Pokemon, there's no fun. And look, as I stated before, I haven't played Scarlet and Violet, but I'm sure they won't solve this issue for me. I want to use my Pokemon that I caught in order to cross bodies of water, to fly, to climb a mountain. And look, I'm not wanting my James back, but I mean, each Pokemon could have like a hidden ability that it's context sensitive, like for example, all water Pokemon could surf. That would be so great. I'm not sure if that's the solution here. I also want to lose some battles over here and there, just so I can come with creative ways of winning, different strategies and stuff, not just using the super effective move against that Pokemon. I'm tired of all these gimmicks if they don't add to the experience of Pokemon, at least the experience that I find fun. But if they're going to have gimmicks in the game, they at least should add to the experience of creating a bond with these creatures, you know? I don't know what it is. I know for sure that it's not just the fact that I grew up that has changed. Pokemon has changed. I had a blast with this almost 30 years old game than any of the recent Pokemon. And if in this day and age where games are able to produce experience like never before, they can get this right, it seems so easy to me. I'm just kind of tired of waiting for them. At the end of the day, that's just my opinion. Feel free to disagree, and if you do, please leave a nice comment. Yeah, you can call me bad words, I don't care. I've been Pedro from Nintendo, and I'll see you next time. Hey everyone, I got kinda emotional there by the end, and you forgot to say to like and subscribe, so if you did, please do so. And as I got emotional, I decided to make a tribute to the GBC and GBA era of games and make a lo-fi playlist. You're listening to a sneak peek right now, but you can check the full playlist by clicking on the thumbnail on the screen. Okay, bye!